Namaste, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful queens. There will be no cards in this video. I want to share this story with you, the true story, which could be answering some of your questions and could be true about some of you. This is a twin flame story, but this could be as well happening to soulmates and karmic soulmates. The marriage which doesn't exist but only kept as a facade, as a pretense, as the comedy they both playing in order to, there goes social status, money, so on, ego, so on and so on and so on. So this story is very interesting. This man, I'm not going to tell you the country, I will tell you the story. So the man is in politics. The man is a politician. And he had been in his official so-called marriage for approximately 18 years, almost 20 years, if you put there the time they knew each other. So it's approximately 20 years. So approximately 5 years ago, this man who is a politician and has a social status, he meets his twin flame, and they start to communicate because she was married back then, but she is type of a woman who is not going to go against the truth of her soul. Then she leaves her marriage and she's divorcing her husband because her marriage didn't exist anymore. It's when people don't sleep together for like 5 years, or I don't know, maybe more, but they have still papers that they are married. They still live together, so like kind of married. So she divorces and let her husband go. Her husband, couple years later, meet another woman, and she starts this communication with her twin. Interesting situation that actually a twin is a pretty deep type of a man, and it's not like in complete denial. This all is the nonsense, and I don't believe in this soul connection or one soul divided in two, so on and so on. He understands and he knows, but because she has certain principles, very like iron to titanium principles, they don't become lovers because she respects his marriage. So the man is in the eye of the public, of course, and he's in politics, so on and so on and so on. So what happens in approximately a year after they met each other, or 2 years, I don't remember anymore, something around a year, 2 years after they met each other. So they communicate with each other. They communicate over the phone. They communicate over email, text messages, whatever. They sometimes meet for dinner, so on and so on. But she's very firm on this. You know what? You belong to that woman. So to his explanation that his marriage is non-existent, she doesn't believe. I mean, she believes him, but she doesn't believe that, she's like, what, that's how it is, until approximately I don't remember now, she said a year or 2 years, he brings her, first of all, he tells her, we are divorced on the papers. We are not married anymore. We're not a husband and wife anymore. So what happened is this marriage was going on as the facade, as the necessity for his image of this perfect kind of a man, because he is in quite a bit of position in politics, especially in that country. So his divorce really influences his image, because marriage for image, it's ridiculous. It's just horrible. It's like we are living in such a fake world when everyone wears multiple masks, and we are wearing masks for so many years. Then years after, we ask ourselves, and who am I and where am I behind the masks I'm wearing. So he tells her, my marriage is non-existent. We are officially divorced. We are divorced. We are not married. But we have to. So what happens in reality, they were playing this married couple role for a long time, until something happens in a family. Something tragic happens in a family. It's either someone passed away or someone got very ill. So at some moment, they both no longer want to pretend. They don't want to leave this fake world, this like Barbie and Ken, perfect couple, a perfect family, perfect relationship. Behind the closed door there is nothing. So when that tragic situation happens, both of them no longer want to pretend this marriage. So they officially divorce with each other on papers. And they are ready to admit to the public that we even she told me the words. There was even the speech he was supposed to say. She was supposed to say to the public something like, we want to exit this marriage as beautifully as we entered it. We are deeply respecting each other. We are this and this and this. But it's a huge machine. This politician, he's a politician. There is tons of things involved. They are together in some programs and so on and so on. So the team, his team, which is working with his image and with his programs or whatever they do, I don't know nothing about politics anyways. So his team convinces both of them to keep on playing the role of happy marriage couple. So the image and this business and social machine keeps on going. They agree to it because the team tells them, okay, you're gonna lose this, and it's better if you guys keep on playing the roles. It's not difficult. You just have to, if there is some, I don't know, charity ball, you dress up beautifully in matching outfit, go somewhere and just look like you're a perfect married couple, then you guys live however you want. Interesting thing that a wife actually was already in relationship with another man, because why not? But of course it's all kept hush hush, no one knows nothing. So he tells her, the politician, he tells his twin flame, and, oh my love, I am not married. This is all fake. But she believes him not. She believes him not, and she said, no, you know what, I am, even though she like she can sense the truth, she kind of knows it, but she doesn't really believe it. And so he brings her actual papers showing her, here is, I'm not married, be with me. But he keeps on playing this facade, this comedy, playing the comedy. I'm a perfect happy husband. She keeps on playing his wife, playing I'm a perfect wife. And so still she sees the paper. She understands they're not married, but they act and behave like a married couple. So she still refuses to be with him. And now this is very interesting thing, my beautiful queens. His wife, in some conversation, because I guess that they kind of kept on some friendship with each other because they've been with each other for so long, married for so long. The wife of the politician comes to his love, his twin flame, and tells her, listen, there is no obstacles for you two to be together. but it has to be kept secret because we are not married. It's true, we are not married. And plus, before we officially were not married, we were not living with each other. We really haven't been, sleeping with each other for, I don't know, years and years. We were like roommates. We were playing roles, kind of like playing roles in this kingdom. So, and now, after this conversation, so the wife actually has compassion to her suffering ex-husband and comes to her and says, why you refuse to be with him? You both suffer because I see him I so much pain in his eyes, and there is no spark in him, and he lost himself, and so on and so on and so on. And she comes to her and tells her, but still his twin flame, let's call her Cynthia, doesn't know what to do. So she comes to me and she said, I want to know, is this true? I said, come on, really, you saw the paper. I mean, they are divorced. She said, I don't know, maybe it's fake. But, she's full of doubts. Totally full of doubts. She doesn't know what to do. And I said, listen, if he told you they're not married and she told you they are not married, they are playing roles, why, she's asking me, but can I be with him even though he keeps on playing? Like, is it karmically allowed? Am I doing something wrong? Because she's really this pure soul. My beautiful queens, my answer to this question is, if you are in something similar situation, if your soulmate, your twin flame, is not married according to the papers, but he still has to play the role that he's married. Maybe he's, I don't know, whatever influence he has on a village, on a city, or on the country. Can you be with him? Karmically and morally, it is a yes. He is not connected with that woman by the comedy, the only connection, the comedy they're playing. But do you want to be with a man who still acts and has to keep on acting that he is with that woman? It's depend on you. Now your question could be, what if they are still married on the papers? I mean, they have a paper, marriage certificate, but they don't live with each other for a very long time, don't sleep with each other, don't do nothing with each other, but they still have a paper that they are married. Can you be with a man like that? Karmically wise, there would be a negative answer, but it's your life, A man, of course, can lie, of course, can promise you billion things he's not gonna do just to have I already told you a million times about a third-party relationship. But if you have the pay, because you can't really know for sure if this man doesn't have, because I had seen it in 20 years, I had seen this situation when a man would swear to a third party that he hasn't slept with his wife for last 50 years, and then several months later a wife turns out to be pregnant. And to the question of a third party, he says, oh no, it just happened because I came home and she was so crying and devastating. It just happened once, and now she's pregnant, but nothing is between us. And then she's pregnant a second time. So of course, can you trust your man telling you when he's officially married, but he's telling you that they have nothing with each other? This is a big question. I would be questioning, or maybe do a reading on it. Is he lying or not? Because again, in 20 years I had seen situation when a third party would swear He doesn't love his wife. He doesn't care about his wife. They're just living for kids, money, business, whatever. You look at the cards, all you need to do is to sometimes have 2, 3 cards, and you see. And very often you will see that he's pretty much big time in love and comfortable and fine with his wife. Yes, he can love you too, but he loves her too. So to him, it's just having, 2 women in his life which he loves. He doesn't have no intentions to leave his wife because he loves her too. And he has no intentions to leave you as well because he loves you too. But in order to keep you both, he has to lie to you. Because if he tells you, listen, I love my wife, you're going to tell him, you know what, go take her out, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Like that. If he tells you, no, I'm not going to divorce, I love her, I still love her, I am fine, I'm happy in my family, then of course you're going to tell him, go hit the road. So you can't really, there is a big question if a man is married but tells you he's unhappy. Because listen, girls, every man who is married and has a third party relationship, number one thing he will tell you, number one, that he's miserable and he's unhappy, and he's so unhappy that that he comes home and she chains him to the kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, like this. Of course he's gonna tell you that, oh, he's so miserable, he's so unhappy, he's so, in order, of course, to keep you in his life. So can you believe a man if he tells you, I'm still married because this and this is this, but I don't sleep with her and I am miserable and unhappy? This is a question. This is a big question. Can it be true? Yes. Can it be a lie? Of course, big time, because no man who has a lover gonna tell a lover, I'm happy with my wife and I'm happy with you too. I am comfortable to have both of you. So I already done enough videos on what do I think about situation like this and what the possible outcome of this situation. This outcome of this situation, in 1% of cases, a man does divorce and marries a third party. 1%, 2%. Maximum 2%, 2%. 98%, 98.8%, a man stays in marriage. And third party says, screw you, I'll get myself a man who's gonna be with me, and not just be with me once a week or 2 hours a week, but it's gonna be with me. So of course, in third party relationship, my beautiful queens, the outcome usually it's a journey nowhere, because we have to admit, most of the men are egocentric, most of the men are cowards, most of the men are selfish, and so to him the best way for him is to keep you both. Sometimes he has his wife, you, and somebody else, because once a cheat, always a cheat. In very, very little cases, of course, we are dealing with circumstances when he can't leave, really, really, really can't, because maybe there is some tragic situation or something else, or kids involved. Even though kids watching while growing this fake relationship, because they can read, they can sense, and mom and dad don't really have nothing in common. It's only going to teach the kids to absorb it, and to when they grow up, they feel all right to fake a love, because they see the parents faking it, so they grow up thinking, okay, you have to be silent, you have to just even if you are unhappy, you still have to stay. This is why, don't expect, if you stayed in your marriage and your marriage had been miserable, you stayed in your marriage because of children. Please don't be surprised when your children grow up and repeat exactly your journey. They marry and their marriage is miserable and unhappy because they grew up looking at mom who is crying at night, whose eyes are sad, whose vibration is of misery and pain, but mom stays because she must. Then they grow up and they don't think about their own happiness and joy. They grow up absorbing it and thinking, my mom lived like this, so I must. So it's not really a very good alternative, but again, situations are different. But if such a situation happens, so you have the paper, you know he is no longer married with that woman, but he has to play like he is for social status, for his politician career, for something else. Maybe they have business together. In these circumstances, karmically, can you be with this man? Yes, the man is free. You are free. You can be with him. Absolutely. The other question is, do you want to be his secret for the whole, I don't know, country or city or village or world, whatever? He has a wife, which is not you, and their village, country, city thinks that his wife is this woman, and you gonna be that secret of his. Would you agree to such situation? Of course, this depends on you totally. It depends on your personal, if you want to do this. But can you karmically do this? Absolutely. He's divorced, he's free. He's divorced, he's free, you can be with him. If he still plays roles, now you can, whether decide that you don't give it down if the world thinks this is his wife, but in fact you are his wife. If you don't care what neighbors think, or I don't know, a city thinks or country thinks, then go ahead. Why not? If you care, then of course probably this comedy he's playing with his wife in for his publicity or image, he can be playing for for 20, 30, I don't know, 50, forever years, unless he leaves his political career or some other, I don't know, types of career, and he's not gonna care anymore. But in this case, for this man, his politician career is a huge thing, and so he doesn't have any he doesn't have the intentions to leave this. He has intentions to keep on playing this role. She, as a twin, of course, she doesn't give a damn what roles he's playing. For her, this, whatever happens between two of them is important. But for you decide what you want to do in such circumstances. If he's divorced and his marriage is a facade and a comedy they're playing in front of people, go ahead and decide what you want to do. Such a story, my beautiful queens. I hope it was helpful for you and answered some of your questions, and I will talk to you later, and wishing you all the most beautiful things in the world. Namaste.